Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yep.
Good afternoon, everyone. Trust you all had a great few days here at Ignite, connecting with customers, other partners, and with your Microsoft team. I'm Meera Venkatesh, and I lead the go-to-market functions for partner investments. It's never been a better time to be a partner of Microsoft. As Satya said on day one, Microsoft is a partner-led company, and we pride ourselves that we have the largest partner ecosystem in the industry. So to accelerate our collective growth, we have designed our investment portfolio to empower you all to deliver outstanding customer results. This year, we have aligned our investments portfolio to our 5 MCAPS priorities: Copilot, AI design solutions, cybersecurity, M365 code execution, and migrations. As you can see from the numbers here, impressive numbers here in each of these priorities, if you focus on these priorities, you have wealth of opportunity to seize this year. There is an opportunity for every partner in any role you play at all stages of customer lifecycle, across all solution areas, across these 5 priorities. Our investment portfolio has never been bigger, and we are investing in you more than ever. We'll go deeper into each of these areas with some key leaders joining me on stage. But before we go deeper, I want to take a moment to express our gratitude. A huge thank you for everything you have accomplished in this past year. We evolved our partner portfolio to better reward you when you engage in all stages of customer lifecycle. As an example, you have achieved over 16,000, you've completed over 16,000 projects in all of the partner activities this past year. And over 8,000 projects are currently in progress. And you have engaged with 11,000 new and unique customers this past year. You have completely seized the moment, and this is an amazing set of results that we see. And I can't wait to see what you're going to deliver in FY25. Let me start with Copilot. As Satya and other leaders talked on day one, since we announced Copilot last year, Copilot has been transforming businesses everywhere, increasing productivity in all customer sizes. This past July, we consolidated all our Copilot investments as a single initiative called Copilot Accelerate. With 3 activities and differentiated engagement sizes, Copilot Accelerate is everything you need to help the customer with the Copilot journey. You are very critical for our customers' Copilot journey. So, we increased your earning opportunity by 10 times over last year. To go into a little bit more detail and to celebrate all of your achievements, I would now like to invite Oriel on stage from Modern Work Marketing.
Thank you, Meera. Everybody, thank you for joining us. My name is Oriel Richtain. I lead partner marketing for Modern Work and Business Applications. Many of you will already be familiar with Copilot Accelerate, but I'm going to take a minute just to level set. By now, you're already familiar with what we announced in the keynote and the subsequent sessions. You would have seen some of the great product innovation that we're bringing to market. But it's not just the product area and the technology area where we're innovating. With Copilot, we're also having to innovate in the area of GTM. We're also having to figure out what's the best route to market, how do we engage customers, how do we help them to understand the value and the transformation that they're going to undertake in order to be able to realize the value of AI. Those best practices, those learnings get packaged into these Copilot Accelerate engagements. And we give them to you as a starting point for you to be able to execute them with your customers that can be your base on which you can layer your own secret sauce, your own IP. The vision and value engagements are there for you to be able to showcase the capabilities of Copilot and agents. You can identify the high-value scenarios, whether by industry or by function. You can go and build the implementation roadmap, and you can build the business case so that customers understand what's in it for them if they invest, which are the KPIs, the key business KPIs that are going to be influenced by implementing Copilot and agents. The proof of value engagements are there for you to be able to help customers assess Copilot on a smaller scale, to actually put it into their environment and give them an immersive experience using the out-of-box features, using agents in order to automate some of their business processes, showing them how the new Copilot analytics capabilities can help them measure the ROI and the impact. And then lastly, the deployment and adoption engagements are there for customers that are making a bigger commitment, and that then helps them to accelerate their start and accelerate their time to value. The IP alone is great for you to incorporate into your practices and into your execution, and the funding that we provide is there to help subsidize your cost of sale and accelerate the transformation of your opportunities through the sales cycle into wins. You've seen some of the great customer references in some of the other sessions, and it's amazing to see that already at this stage, with only a year in market, we already have 70% or more of the Fortune 500 companies using Copilot. We're also seeing that the number of customers that have bought 10,000 or more seats is growing rapidly every single month. And that is in no small part thanks to you and all the great work that you've done. We cannot thank you enough for the level of partnership and engagement. The work that you are doing is helping us take this incredible value to our customers, helping to take them on this journey and helping them to realize the benefits. We've seen over 5,000 customer engagements in Copilot Accelerate this year alone, and the results speak for themselves. We're seeing incredible pipeline being generated off of the back of this, pipeline that you're driving together with our sellers in a co-sell motion. We're seeing more than 65% of the new Copilot revenue that we've realized is being supported by you, our partners. And we have this incredible club of partners that is starting to form that have driven $1 million or more of Copilot revenue in the last year. We have 65 of you in that club right now, and we're looking forward to inviting many more in the months to come. So let me close out this section just by talking you through the partner opportunity that we see when you get engaged in the Copilot space. Every year we conduct research where we go and interview the best performing partners in each area, and we get feedback from them how they are able to monetize services and solutions around our technology. They tell us which services customers tend to take, how much they're able to charge for them, and so on. We compile that into a total economic impact report, a partner profitability study that we share with you, and we get a sense then of how you can monetize that in addition to the licensing sale that we make when we sell our products. And what we've seen is that that growth has been very rapid and very stable for a number of years. But in the last year, thanks to the introduction of Copilot, we've seen a significant uptick both in indirect opportunity and indirect services opportunity. Indirect opportunity comes from customers that are undertaking modern work infrastructure projects in order to prepare for AI. Things like making sure that their data estate is in good shape, making sure that they've got the right governance processes in place, making sure that they don't have data oversharing issues. And then making sure that they've deployed all of the applications that they need in order to have their users realize the maximum benefits of Copilot. And then direct services opportunities related to delivering things like AI advisory services, helping customers build that implementation roadmap and value proposition and business case. Things like driving adoption and change management and building Copilot agents that are going to extend the out-of-box features and then integrate into line of business systems. This opportunity is just starting to take off and is growing bigger every single day. We invite you to take advantage of it. And where we see partners having the most success is when they're able to represent a holistic offering, a holistic set of solutions across all of these capabilities so that they become that one-stop shop for their customers. And if they're able to then offer that as a transformation managed service so that they can land in a customer, offer them the ability to transform a single function or a single set of use cases, and then once they achieve value, expand into additional departments and additional use cases, and build an annuity revenue stream from there. We're incredibly excited about what we've already achieved together, and we couldn't be more excited about what we're going to achieve in the year to come. Thank you so much for everything that you do. Back to you, Meera.
Thank you so much, Oriel. It's great to see what you have accomplished, and as he said, looking forward to what you can do greater next year. Let me focus for a minute on some of the numbers that show the value of partnering with Microsoft. Nicole covered this in her keynote a few days ago. One of the ways we measure ourselves is what value that we provide to you all, to our partner ecosystem, and how we enable you build healthy, thriving growth businesses. A recent IDC study revealed that for every $1 of Microsoft revenue, our services-led partner earn about $8.45, and our software-led partners earn about $10.93. This is a vast scale and opportunity for you all. Especially partners who are engaged within Microsoft AI stack stand out with higher revenue and margin growth. As a reminder, Microsoft AI stack includes Copilot, its extensibility through Copilot Studio, and all of the underlying services as building blocks within Azure AI stack. 81% of the partners who we surveyed believe their engagement in Microsoft AI stack is going to help them earn higher revenue. Especially partners who already earn 25% or more of their revenue from the AI stack already see an accelerated pace of revenue and profitability growth. So, to help you all with your AI journey, we significantly increased our investment in addition to Copilot investments that we spoke earlier, in two offers, Azure Migrate and Modernize and Azure Innovate offerings. These two offerings work together to help customers adopt Azure services. So by leveraging these investments, if you help migrate a customer onto Azure and help implement Azure AI stack, you can scale and deliver Azure design solutions. To go more in depth about each of these offerings and your opportunity, I would like to invite Ashley on stage from Azure Marketing.
Thanks. That's like a great segue. So Azure Migrate and Modernize and Azure Innovate. And I actually love the way that Meera talks about it. They're meant to work together. And I always start with a slide like this. And I'm going to double click a little bit on each one of them in just a moment to spotlight them. But the reason why we start with a slide that shows them side by side and we tee it up as that they are meant to work together is because every single one of our customers is on a journey. Many of our customer opportunities will also have a multitude of different types of projects. We also talk about this most frequently or most recently as a migrate to innovate journey that folks are on. You may start out with the enthusiasm and excitement about how to innovate with AI, but as you get into the actual design and starting to take a look at the environment, you realize that the data estate isn't in the right shape, that you need to migrate, you need to get things in order. So you use AMM, you use Azure Migrate and Modernize. And as that estate is ready to actually innovate with AI, this is where Azure Innovate comes in. So we want to make sure that you continue to use these things as appropriate, interchangeably, in one project or for the multitude of projects based on the customer size that you're working with. So I'm going to spotlight each one in a little bit more detail if they're new for you today. They're both of them, by the way, are really anchored on getting you the funding that you need for each stage of the customer journey. So if that's from an assessment to a proof of value, proof of concept, to of course helping you to move on to deployment and into production as well. But there's one new one on here called Azure Essentials. We just launched this in July. And so I expect this to mostly be new for all of you. It is something you're going to continue to hear us talk more about. It is not about funding though. In this way, It's actually here to support successful outcomes that are going to manifest through AMM and Azure Innovate. Azure Essentials is a new set of assets, tools, and partner training to help you make sure you have the most secure, reliable, and performant customer outcomes, really elevating that customer success. We don't want any of these opportunities executed without that as the foundational element of the execution. And so now we're starting to bring all of that goodness together. We think of it as the foundational layer of any opportunity you're going to execute through AMM and Azure Innovate. So think of them as being in good partnership. So let's take a closer look at Azure Migrate and Modernize. Azure Migrate and Modernize has been invested, actually it's been in market, I think now, maybe since last year. Yeah, since last year, maybe 18 months. 18 months, yeah. So this one came to market first, much sooner than Azure Innovate has. And we continue to see this accelerate and the trajectory accelerate. But even so, we've actually been continuing to increase the investment. And just this last year, we've increased it 50% year over year. The investments, or I should say the scenarios that we're investing in this offering have stayed pretty consistent though. So I'll just recap those for you. You're gonna find predominantly projects based in AVS migrations, infrastructure and databases, that's your Windows and SQL. It's also your Linux and OSS as well, I should mention, and SAP migrations. So this is core to that migration motion in general. Again, this has pre-sales and post-sales deployment investments as well. This is where you'll find, for example, the funding for assessments. And then there's Azure Innovate. And while it is the newest in market of our two hero offerings, its trajectory has been ramping very quickly, obviously with all the energy on AI, data and analytics, as well as dev productivity. And those are really core to this offering. And even more so, we've been doubling down here. So $150 million incremental investment this year to help fund those engagements through AMM and Azure Innovate. The most new offering or engagement type that we've launched, I think it was just in July, is innovating with the AI platform. And so this is much more, this is less about the ingesting of AI into apps, and this is more about the development of tools and languages and models. And so this one is much more at the heart of our developer ecosystem, which plays and is in great tandem also with our developer productivity. And then last but not least, I would be amiss if I did not celebrate all of that great momentum that we've been seeing. We have had over 10,000 Azure Migrate and Modernize projects delivered, and just about over 4,000 just since we launched Azure Innovate. And that equates to about $140 million of incentives back into your projects, your customer outcomes, and your success. So I hope that for those of you that are using it, you can continue to double down and refine your effectiveness, give us the feedback on how we can tune and help you guys be more partner-led and self-sufficient with our funding mechanisms. And if this is new to you, I hope you go out, you explore it, and you start to integrate this into your go-to-market motions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. Once again, amazing set of numbers, and thank you all, partners. Let me now talk about the security opportunity. Each year, Microsoft initiates an independent study with Forrester Research to evaluate the partner value of their security practice, both security solutions and managed services built on Microsoft technologies. So a recent study revealed that, as you can see in the numbers on the slide, when partners work with the enterprise customer, they saw a 10% revenue increase year on year if they led with software security solutions, and with managed services, they saw a 17% growth year over year. And when they work with SMB customers, the results are equally impressive. 19% increase in revenue year over year, and 53% increase year over year revenue with managed services. That's truly a vast opportunity for partners working with Microsoft security technologies. So This year, to help you all with your security practice, we increased our investment significantly and added an additional $90 million incremental investments to empower you to seize the vast market opportunity that we see. With incremental investments across threat protection and data security, Defender for Cloud Attach, Sentinel Migrate and Modernize, and premium differentiated rate for ME5 within CSP, and strategic cybersecurity investments, you can see the list is so big that you have significant opportunity for you to leverage. And we are thrilled to see how you have leveraged our investments so far. It's amazing to see that you've engaged with around 3,000 customers in delivering pre- and post-sales security projects. And 1,500 projects are already in progress. And in terms of partner investments, you have earned over $120 million in partner investments in our security space. And I really can't wait to see. These are amazing numbers, and I can't wait to see these results for FY25. To then understand a little bit more about the partner opportunity, I would now like to invite Chantal, go-to-market strategy lead for security, onto stage, and we'll have a little dialogue with her to learn more. Welcome, Chantal.
Hey, Meera.
Excellent. Do you want to do a quick intro yourself?
Yeah, hi. Great to meet you all. So I work in the Worldwide GPS organization, and I am the GTM strategy lead for security partners. So my team looks at the all-up GTM strategy. We work with Meera's team to design incentives and really make sure we're aligning your go-to-market with our field sellers as well.
Great. Great to have you here. So what do you see as a partner opportunity this year as they build a security, evolving, how partners are evolving their security service this year?
Man, we've seen a lot. I am super proud, and I actually feel really privileged to look back on the past 3 to 4 years at the evolution of our partner ecosystem. We've seen incredible innovations, accelerated go-to-market across all partner types, serving all customer sizes. A couple of things I'll call out this year that have been really fantastic for us to see is when we started our security journey, we had a lot of partners really focused on the larger customers, the enterprise space. We're seeing more and more partners building out security offerings, managed security services going down segments into the mid-market space. That's where we need the most help. We have a ton of customers in there. We simply cannot serve all of those customers. So security managed services has been a really big one for us. Another exciting one has been the SMB opportunity. We're seeing a lot of partners, SMB partners, invest in that SMB space. We've got RMM providers working with us. ConnectWise recently launched a service for Defender for Business as well. So it's super exciting to see that our ecosystem is really caring about every single customer, regardless of size. The one for me that I'm most proud of has been data security. When we launched our strategy around AI, and then there was this huge energy in the marketplace, my team was working with Oriel's team, and we were consulting with a bunch of folks, figuring out what this new go-to-market strategy would be like for data security partners in the era of AI. We were still consulting with marketing folks, engineering folks, figuring out what the plan would look like, and the area started reporting, and hey, we've got these data security partners. They're launching all of these custom offers, helping customers prepare for Copilot, get their environments prepared for AI. So it was an interesting one. We felt like the ecosystem moved a lot quicker than we did. We felt like we were left behind. But a huge shout out to our data security partners. You really jumped on that opportunity. We're just seeing some great momentum in how you're supporting customers on the AI journey.
Wow, amazing to hear about the momentum you see. As the partners work with our customers to deliver security services, what is the most critical opportunity that they see now?
I would say from a threat protection perspective, definitely still the managed services opportunity, tons of opportunity in deployment services. We just cannot help every single one of our customers from a deployment perspective. If you've been with Microsoft for a long time, you know deploying is always a challenge for us. So we're really dependent on partners to help us there. A few new things are popping. So if anybody attended the security go-to-market session, I think it was yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
Yesterday morning. Andrew Conway and Perry Mansell, he made mention on incident response. So there's a huge focus around incident response, especially as you go down segments. We're really encouraging our field sellers to not only talk to the customer about an ME3 to an ME5 upsell, but talk to them about the end-to-end security landscape. Do you have an incident response service? Because if something goes wrong on a Friday afternoon, if you're looking through the telephone book to call someone, it's far too late. So the demand for incident response services is a big one. We're going to have our field sellers really encouraging that. Managed security services. So we have an opportunity for partners where if you have a security service, you can actually submit the details to our engineering team, and our engineering team will validate it as a Microsoft verified managed XDR service. So where we're not able to serve our customers directly, our field sellers are coached to position this through to the customer, saying, hey, if you do not have a provider today, here's the list of the managed XDR providers we have that are verified by our engineering team. So I would definitely say a good space to look at is incident response. Data security, no surprise. We're seeing a lot of these shifts between P2P models. We've got a lot of data security partners partnering with our Copilot Jumpstart partners and building joint GTM. So we'll see a lot more focus in there. We're going into our fiscal year planning now. One of the things we are talking about, and it's not just Copilot for M365, it's really all AI. So we're going to start thinking about how do we infuse data security from a lens of AI design wins? How do we make sure that our migrations are more secure? Thinking about every layer of AI and how we infuse data security in there. So that's something we'll be working on. The other one, which has taken some time to get there, but it's pretty encouraging for us, we have a lot of customers declare that they are now ready to migrate from legacy SIEM over to Sentinel. A lot of customers are just telling us, I'm ready. There's been dynamics in the marketplace. There's been acquisitions moving around, so the time is right. It's hard. It is really, really complicated. Our customers are struggling. They know they want to do it. They just don't know where to go. They don't know how to plan it. They have no idea what this looks like, how long it'll take. So we see a lot of partners investing in providing migration services, not just the migration, but really going deep, understanding the cost, helping the customer understand the value of Sentinel. What do they have to plan for? How do you run Sentinel side by side with a different SIEM provider? What does this migration look like? What are the connectors? How do we think about what this looks like over time? So there's a really good opportunity popping in there. Meera mentioned some of our investments there. So we've got Sentinel Migrate and Modernize. We are testing a very limited pilot where specifically for these customers on SIEM migrations, is there a way that we can actually bolster up some more pre-sales dollars and actually co-fund a 3-month engagement where we would actually leverage ACO, Azure Credit Office, and actually do a real deployment for the customer so they get to actually experience it and then help that migration over time. So definitely migration services. I'm talking a lot, but I do have one more, which I think is more of a segment-orientated one. I don't get often to speak to so many partners, so this is great. So from a segment perspective, Kevin Pisco did a session earlier this week on the opportunity in SMC. I cannot stress enough how much we need our partner ecosystem there. Our sellers are just few and far between. We have a ton of customers that require services. Thinking about our pre-sales investments, GTM investments, we're really encouraging our partners to pay attention to that SMC segment. We have so much opportunity to capture there. So I would say the fourth opportunity is to really focus in that SMC segment with us.
Yeah, all are critical opportunities. I'm glad you took the time to explain everything. So don't feel bad. It's critical for the partners, and thank you so much for sharing. Oh. Now, we've seen all the investments listed. How have you seen partners leverage those investments while driving the customer value?
So the most successful partners are the ones that pay attention to the win formula that we provide. And I'm hoping every partner in this room has looked at our partner playbooks that we release every year with the strategy. And And those win formulas is not just an easy way for us to check boxes and show you all the things in a very constructed way, but it's built there by design. So the most successful partners think about the really early stage of how do I build top of funnel? What are the resources available to me? We have a go-to-market across solution plays or customer conversations, so threat protection, data security, modern SecOps. For each one of those plays or customer conversations, we have campaign content that we package up. We've got a marketing service that you can leverage, run marketing campaigns to your customer base. So the successful ones are really starting the year off saying, I'm going to my entire customer base. I want to capture opportunity for data security and AI, and I'm going to run this campaign through Microsoft. That helps to build top of funnel. Then we have our pre-sales engagements, or historically known as workshops. These are not just workshops where you sit at the customer and go through a couple of PowerPoint slides. It includes a trial license where you can do a proper deployment at the customer. The customer gets to see and experience the environment. So we see a lot of partners leveraging things like the threat protection engagement, data security engagement to help drive customer commits and get to close. A couple of things that we see there. Our conversion rates from delivering these workshops to seeing revenue close is close to 50%. So it's really good from a sales conversion perspective. The other one one thing I want you to go out of this room with today, it is not just a workshop or an engagement. You have to see it as a critical anchor point for co-sell. Every single one of our sellers knows that when you have a top of funnel opportunity, you need to identify the customer, you need to identify a partner, and get a partner to come in and deliver a workshop. So it's not just you coming into the customer to do a workshop, it is the field seller engaging with you, bringing you into the account, working with them, talking about your joint strategy on how you're going to close the business together. Our most successful partners get into our field sellers and build those relationships by delivering the workshops. So that's a big one. I would also say Sentinel, Migrate, and Modernize, leveraging all of our investments. From a Sentinel perspective, the more migrations and nominations you're putting in, our field sellers see, oh, Meera Security Shop is doing a lot of Sentinel migrations. I want to do a lot more with them. So that's super important. And then the final thing I would say is we've seen some partners really take the solution, the win formula to heart, and they've actually operationalized as part of the internal process. So they field sellers they've got a marketing engine that runs, that pipes in the leads for the field sellers. Every seller needs to make sure there's a workshop being delivered. So they're selling in lockstep in the same way that Microsoft does. That engine's running, they're getting good pre-sales dollars from Microsoft, they're earning good incentives from Microsoft, but it's just so much easier to co-sell with us.
Amazing how partners are leveraging the investments as you laid out. And you already shared a lot of tips for the partners. But if you have to leave one final tip about security practice for the partners, what would that be?
I can't give you one, I'll give you three.
Okay. Go for it.
So the first one I would say is go fast. Go faster than we do. Do what the data security partners did. There's so much opportunity out there. Don't wait for us to give you the GTM or the strategy. If you find a market opportunity, move fast. Aligned to that is give us feedback. I say to every partner I meet, feedback's great. If it's good stuff, I feel good. I can sleep at night. If it's not so good stuff or a missed opportunity, I have something I can do. I can do something with that feedback. So go fast. Make sure you're giving us consistent feedback. And then what I would say is last week I had 3 days with our worldwide security sales leaders. And one of the things that came out very, very loudly from every single one of the areas is we just do not have enough partners. We need more partners. We just don't have enough business. So connect with the field sellers, making sure you're sharing your win wires, because it's just great for the sellers to see and they'll start engaging you a lot more.
Well, thank you. It's an incredible set of tips, and thank you for your time, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Meera.
So now on to our foundational imperative to drive core cloud growth. Microsoft 365 is critical to the for our future or our joint success in the future. We are investing heavily in the deployment accelerators designed to enable customers adopt Microsoft 365. Specifically in SMC, We have increased our investments through this broad base already. We have increased our investments by double digits this year. So throughout our portfolio, Nicole touched on it last year, in few days ago, and Chantal touched on it a couple of moments ago. In each of the solution areas and across all of our portfolio, our 70% of the portfolio is directed at SMC, including our cloud breadth offering CSP. Within CSP, across all the solution areas, we have maintained a standard core rate, and we have increased our investments significantly in the strategic accelerators, including Microsoft 365 E3, E5, Business Premium, Business Central, Copilot, and other AI workloads, and a material investment in a new customer ad accelerator. So throughout our focused investment, you can take a bet on SMC segment, and you can be confident that based on the investment that we are investing this year. As I'm coming to a close, let's take a moment here. Satya alluded a couple of days ago, and you heard from several other leaders, there's been a tremendous disruption in innovation due to AI this past year. AI is unlocking faster time to value and increasing efficiencies across all industries, all businesses, and all customer sizes, as several great examples has been shared in the last few days in several of the keynotes. We are at a unique crossroads of market trends and technology advancements. In these ever-changing times, the constant is you, our partners, who make more possible. So in closing, I want to reiterate our investment portfolio is designed with you in mind. By aligning your business strategy to our priorities, you can take advantage of the huge momentum that we see this year and maximize your earning opportunity. Reinvest your earnings to accelerate growth and capitalize on the market opportunity. Our most successful partners take a bet on Microsoft platform, and we have such an incredible opportunity together. Thank you once again for your great partnership, and thank you for joining us today. Here are some key resources for you to get a little bit more details about the go-to-market functions across each of the areas we covered. And the links also take you to solution area specific investments in detail, including customer eligibility, partner eligibility, and all the details you need to go deeper. And we also have an incentive desk as the partner hub for the next few hours. So please feel free to stop by there as well. Thank you again, and have a great rest of the day.